This is Margaret Ann Windsor, my real name, Victoria II, legal heir to the British Crown. I want to go through this one more time. I'm going to give you a list of mind control murders, just a few. And they're in patterns, and you can prove them. But I first need to tell you this again, refreshing. My father is the real King Edward VIII. A double took him out and married Wallace Simpson. My uncle George VI, illegal heir, did this to his own brother with the help of Roosevelt and Joseph Kennedy, who was ambassador to England 36 to 45. Now, here's a meeting that my Uncle George had with Roosevelt, 39, the year I was born. 2 years later, I'm kidnapped and brought to Moulton, Alabama, given the name of a twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey, married name Childers, A Life of Hell. I wrote a book in 77, 78 of mind control. MD, A License to Kill was the name of it. This is Elizabeth, illegal monarch, and so is her kids, Charles and William and Kate, and little George, who was, by the way, honored with naming after the man who helped kidnap me, my uncle. How's that for right in my face? Here's Caroline with Obama up for ambassadorship. They got their money in mafia, running whiskey and every illegal act. Yet they're honored, and I am trash to you people, America. Okay, you can figure out what mind control murders are. This is Timothy McVeigh, who told everybody he had a chip in him by the government. Blew up the federal building. Terry Nichols is still in prison, Oklahoma. This is William, the illegal, supposed to be monarch. This is the back of the book, Project Lucid, and it's talking about implantable biochips. Now, this can be proven, McVeigh, by patterns also and what happened during that time. But here I want to go on, and I hope I don't confuse anybody. That's the last thing I want to do. I went to the British Embassy in 87, July the 25th in D.C., and the Iran-Contra hearings with, let me forget his name, Oliver North. It was National Security Council, National Security again. Anyway, it was during the Iran-Contra affair, and they shredded documents, and the documents got stuck or something, and some of it leaked out. But anyway, 1980s, and then on the day I went there, July the 25th, I think was a Sunday that I got there, of 87, it all shut down, premature. So now then we have the New World Order in place up there under the guise of, you can call it NATO at times, or the, I don't know, I'm tired right at the moment. Let me just say this. This is Sir Terry Waite. Oliver North put a chip in his arm, sent him off into Lebanon, where he was captured and held for 5 years and couldn't see out or anything. You know, it sounded like he had a place where you put a dog and put him a tray of water under there. So I hope that we don't forget him. Now then, I'm just going to show you a list of, I wrote about mind control murders back 78 and 79. I was filled full of antifreeze. With a letter from the FBI on June the 23rd of 79. This is later. I'm trying to get the book done, and I thought it was because of the book. And this involves the Patty Hearst and all that kidnapping. Anyway, with that letter, it didn't do me any good. I was still full of antifreeze April the 1st of 80. And my ex-husband was involved. He worked for the CIA, I found out later. Anyway, I thought it was because of the book again. I found out later in 83 when I got in a political campaign that it was due to my being kidnapped. I found out about my real name. And that's the phone in the back, and I'm not answering it. Anyway, a little later was when Sonny von Bülow was still full of, injected with insulin, and her husband, Klaus von Bülow, was supposed to have done it, and he was found guilty and put in prison. She was in a coma, Sonny was, for 28 years, and this is what should have happened to me. Instead, I went on for a tox screen and was locked up illegally, everything done to me. Bounced around, which that alone, why would you bounce me around? Crossed the state line living with a woman that killed her twins, and I was told she was my mom. I was given the twins' name Peggy. That woman brutalized me and that family forever. She took me across the state line with brain damage, antifreeze in me, and I won't go into what happened again, but in mid-May, I worked for the District Attorney Simpson. I want to go from there real quick because I had brain damage. That was horrible, and the threat of locking me up, and I didn't really know. I thought it was the book. So anyway, I meant to tell about the von Bülow, and that's when John Lennon was killed by Martin David Chapman, shot. This is programming. So I'm just going to show you these, and if it's scattered and you can't put it together, I'm sorry. This is Jan Zorings. And Elizabeth Haysom. These murders, they're in prison. He's in Buckingham State Prison, Virginia, and Dillwyn, Virginia. And Elizabeth Haysom, they were supposed to kill her parents, Derek and Nancy Haysom, in next door in Bedford County. And it was a brutal one with a knife and everything. These two were programmed. I had met him briefly in Atlanta prior to being flown out to Larry Flint's and finding out my real name. And by the way, the Brits told me my real name and about it, and some Germans. But anyway, they're in prison. They went to University of Virginia. Good people. They were programmed. They're victims too. And he was a diplomat's son. Who cared about that? You know, the United States didn't care. This is the Fort Hood massacre trial. He was a psychiatrist. He was born here in Roanoke, where I am. Vinton, Roanoke. He went to Virginia Tech, where the other mass shootings happened, and these are mind control. There's nothing to do with mental illness. Here's a picture of him and the Century 16 with James Holmes. He's being fed psychotic drugs. He's not mentally ill. He's programmed. It's sick. Larry Flint flew me up there during the campaign when Dr. Larry McDonald's plane went down. By the way, he was a U.S. congressman. I got in the campaign. Isn't that odd? His plane goes down like so much other stuff in the ocean. Point is, Larry Flint flew me to his Bel Air home the last of September. I think it was today in '83, and then back out there on the 16th of October, and back and furnished me a car. And I never heard from him again. He ended up in Butner, North Carolina, where the great psychiatrist puts the rest of the so-called serial murderers who are programmed. His wife died, Althea, in a bathtub. Isn't that odd? Wonder how much mind control went in that. So I've just shown you a little bit, and he said, Larry Flint says here in the that I know who killed him, and he mentions the Murphy, and that's very much a part of this. Now then, I'm trying to think. I said the Timothy McVeigh. I told about my dad. I told about. I wanted to mention this one. You've got Eric Holder, the Attorney General, saying that George Zimmerman is a pariah, excuse me. Zimmerman can be proven with the patterns that it was mind control. He didn't shoot Trayvon Martin because of anything other than the way it was, but there was programming done in it. And the fact that George Zimmerman, is playing out this afterwards, his actions, so coincides with mind control. I guess I wanted to compare, though, the Trayvon Martin and Obama coming in and Eric Holder coming in and marching and all of this. I have been tortured. I have had every law in the book broken, tortured beyond belief. Me and my children. I haven't seen them really since 80 when the antifreeze was put in me for a few times. And I have feared that they would be killed because I'm the legal heir. So long as I'm alive and they are alive, they're in danger. So, I don't know. I guess that's it. Let me try to see if this one will upload.